What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to the channel. Ahsoka just had its finale the other day, making it the 5th live-action Star Wars show. So today we're ranking all 5 live-action Star Wars shows from my least favorite to my favorite. Join me down below in the comment section. What is your favorite Star Wars show? And what is your thoughts on Ahsoka and especially that finale, which is proven to be very, very divisive. This is going to be a full spoiler warning for every live-action Star Wars show. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And let's hop into things right at number 5. And at number 5, unfortunately, is Andor. I have not seen the show. I watched like half of the first episode and just haven't found the time to go back and watch all of it. But at default is Andor at number 5. A couple things though, I am very excited to check this out. I do really enjoy Rogue One. I heard this one's more of a slower burn, but more of like that spy espionage show. It's renewed for season 2. After Ahsoka, I'm kind of in a Star Wars mood, so I think I'll definitely go and watch Andor. I know what you're thinking. How do you put Andor in last? I just haven't seen it, so it is in last just for that reason. At number 4 is Book of Boba Fett. I just watched the show before watching Ahsoka the other day. I watched like the first 2 episodes when it premiered, and I was just not the biggest fan. But the Book of Boba Fett is one of those shows that kind of a big question mark. I remember when the show first came out, the marketing for it was literally non-existent. Literally had no idea the show even aired on Disney Plus when it did air, and it felt like to kind of just like a cash grab to get people really just to tune into Disney Plus because the show really had no direction and it just felt like a wannabe Mandalorian, but without the exciting things of the Mandalorian. Obviously, you have some great episodes in there with Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka. That's all really cool, but that's just the Mandalorian 2.0. It's like another season of the Mandalorian. So Book of Boba Fett, just one of those shows kind of jumbled in there. A story that just felt wasted, and a story that, honestly, we didn't really need. I would have liked a show of Jango Fett, Boba Fett's dad. I think that would have been much more interesting. But, you know, we got the Book of Boba Fett, and it didn't hit for really any of us. And I remember when it came out, one of the creators of the show was like, well, let's get through Book of Boba Fett, and let's see where I go from there. And I was kind of like, that doesn't sound very confident. Let's get through this show. Like, they didn't even market it. I think we got like a teaser trailer. Just one of those big question marks for the Star Wars universe. At number 3, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I like this show more than most people. I know a lot of people have a big problem with the show, but for me, it gave me lots of things I was looking for. It gave me lots of backstory in Obi-Wan where he went after Revenge of the Sith. It gave us glimpses of Anakin, gave us a lot more Darth Vader though. So that alone, that got me to enjoy the show quite a bit. I really got to kind of go back in the world of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. But there is a missed opportunity to the ultimate maximum here. There should have been lots of flashbacks with Anakin throughout this. And when we got those, I was so invested. I was so into the show. But as the kind of season progressed, it felt like it was a little directionless. Where were we exactly going? Younger Leia was a cool, badass character. She really had a swagger and confidence that Carrie Fisher had for Leia, and you could see that she really had that from a younger age, but just the villains in the show and the overall kind of story and guide just felt a little bit weird. I felt Darth Vader should have been more of the forefront with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was in it a lot, but I think glimpses and flashbacks with Anakin and then him fighting, having an actual better duel with Darth Vader. I mean, it's kind of like what they did with Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker is a very noble hero, and all of a sudden, Last Jedi, he's kind of like, peace out, deuces. With this show, Obi-Wan Kenobi's like, we can't go fight. That's not the Obi-Wan we love. He went to go fight General Grievous basically by himself and his entire army. That's the one I really wanted throughout the show. Felt a little bit wasted. And I think this is one of those opportunities that would have worked much better as a movie, just titled Kenobi, told in past tense and present tense, and I think it would have probably done $1 billion. Kind of a miss from Star Wars, if you want to call it that, but when he has that emotional like line when he's fighting, learns to kind of reuse the Force and wield his lightsaber, and he fights Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's like, Anakin Skywalker's dead. It's like, whoa, hits you in the feels just a little bit. And seeing Qui-Gon, Force Ghost at the end. That was definitely cool. At number 2, The Mandalorian. I remember when Disney Plus premiered back in 2019 and they had the first episode of this. I was up like at 5 a.m. to watch it. I was so ready. And I love The Mandalorian, minus season 3. The first 2 seasons are some of my favorite seasons of TV probably ever. The first season in general is absolutely fantastic, and the second season is damn good as well. But when it came into season 3, it was kind of what happened with the Book of Boba Fett. We didn't really get a trailer. We didn't really have a direction. It kind of felt like no one was really on board with this, and I think that's all like the internal battle of everyone, all the big heads at Star Wars, because season 3 is just a snoozer. One of the seasons you're kind of like, we're waiting for like the Siege of Mandalore. We're waiting for this huge epic battle. I love Bo-Katan, and everything about the show just fell through the cracks, and it was really boring, and it was not what I loved about Season 1 and Season 2. But how great Season 1 and Season 2 are is what puts this at the number 2 spot. Diving into this world of The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, they did such a good job not even marketing it. All of a sudden, this little Grogu guy appears, but alright, it's a Baby Yoda. We're freaking out. And The Mandalorian being an ultimate badass, Pedro Pascal voices and just plays this guy so well. So you really just gotta dive into the world of bounty hunters, and they did such a good job of that. Jon Favreau crushed it with the first 2 seasons, and again, the 3rd season just kind of dropped the ball, kind of like Star Wars does quite often. But at number 1 is the most recent Star Wars show, Ahsoka. Forefront, the finale. I liked it, I didn't love it. The more I think about it, the more problems I have with it. I was definitely left a little bit disappointed. Scratch just the finale. The entire show has been my favorite Star Wars property since The Force Awakens. Everything they gave me with the first 7 episodes was epic. The journey of Sabine was so cool. She's that young Padawan who doesn't want to listen to her master, but she knows she has to. Ahsoka, played by Rosario Dawson, is just perfect casting and absolutely awesome to see Snips all grown up so many years later. The use of Anakin Skywalker, it literally gives me chills just thinking about it. He was my favorite Jedi and my favorite Sith, obviously in Darth Vader. So seeing Anakin kind of coming back, you get to see glimpses of the Clone Wars, a live-action Captain Rex. They did these so well. It's what I wanted with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but they did so well with this show. And then bringing in Lord Baylan Skoll, a fantastic villain. The hype and lead-up to Thrawn was absolutely perfect. Thrawn, it just hinted, and he's hinted, and he's hinted. I have not seen Rebels, but I want to go and watch Rebels after watching this because Thrawn is hinted throughout it, and everyone's scared of him. And when they finally bring him in, it's just such a good episode. And then bringing in Ezra. Again, I haven't seen Rebels, but I'm very familiar with this character just from how many people love it. So to see Ezra come back on screen gave me chills. There's so much to love and hang on to in those moments where it just gave me chills. And seeing Anakin again, I mean, the show nailed everything. But the finale. Because when you're leading up to this point and you get to episode 8, you're kind of thinking, this either needs to be a 2-hour-long finale or we need about 3 episodes. And we needed an 8, 9, and 10. That's how many more episodes we needed. 10-episode season because there was too much to wrap up. The threat in the final episode wasn't really there. It was kind of like off the gas, everything's fine. And all the other characters that we know and love. Hera Syndulla is like my favorite character throughout its entire show. She's awesome, she's badass, and she has this confidence, and she's not in the finale. Baylan Skoll, one of the best villains we've seen in such a long time for Star Wars, he's barely in this episode. Thrawn's in this episode, but it felt like everything kind of like, we're at ease. It's at peace. So the finale definitely missed the mark, but the first 7 episodes gave me some of my favorite Star Wars content ever, and it's one of my favorite Star Wars projects ever, and I think just because of how much I love the first 7 episodes, I enjoy the finale just that much more. It's kind of went negative for a little bit. Let's give the show props. Seeing Anakin, Ezra, Ahsoka, everyone on screen all together, that was everything and more I could have wanted. I loved Ahsoka. It's one of my favorite pieces of content from Star Wars ever, and it's my favorite Disney live-action Star Wars show. Let me know your ranking of all the live-action Star Wars show down below in the comment section. I promise I'm going to be watching Andor soon. Come back tomorrow because we're going to be doing a ranking of every Star Wars project that I've seen. A couple of things are going to miss the mark, which is unfortunate. But nonetheless, we have a big ranking coming this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.